Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Monday. Usually Sunday when we do these, but it's Monday. Let me change this to 300. What's up, Julian? What's up, Rock? What's up, Rebecca? Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys for stopping by. The viewership is not going to be high for this one, nor are they ever high for these My Hero chapters. But I don't care about viewership because I love My Hero so much. Right? I don't care. I just want to read the chapters. And since I've tied these chapters to the channel, I can read them without reacting to them. So, and until I'm able to do this, I can't read the chapters, which sucks because I wanted to read the chapter yesterday. But I appreciate you guys for being here. I really do. I really do. I appreciate everyone that stops by. How's everything looking? Sound? Everything's good? I was cramming my face full of food. So I'm a little parched and everything. I'm all over the place. Chapter 300. It's an accomplishment. Chapter 300. This is 6 years, right? 6 years of My Hero. Is it 6 years of My Hero? Or are we gonna be entering the 7th year soon? I don't remember. But it's been a great ride. It's been a great ride for My Hero. And I'm genuinely happy that Horikoshi has been able to see the success that has become of the series. Just knowing the tiny bit we know about his backstory and everything, knowing that this was his final chance. Like, if My Hero didn't pop, he was gonna be done essentially. And I'm glad it did. And 300 chapters later, 2 successful movies later, ongoing anime, successful anime later. I'm super spin-off series, right? A spin-off manga series that ties into the main series. I'm super happy. I'm super glad for him. Truly am. So now, getting all the sappy sentimental stuff out of the way. Chapter 300, I'm pulling it up. Looking at the first page right now. Now, I don't know if it's any hype or any gas that's happening in this chapter, because I've completely muted anything regarding My Hero, so I don't get any information whatsoever about My Hero. And I said last week I'm going on darkness. I completely went on darkness. So we're here. I'm looking at 300 right now. Where's the chapter title? I don't see it. Maybe it's not here. All right. Urban areas descended into panic. Society had barely begun to process the destruction of 2 days prior, and the small army of vicious escaped villains only exacerbated this unprecedented crisis. The existence of the Nomu was the final nail in the coffin, and the Nomu was pointing at himself like me. I want to say 2016, yeah, Rock. I want to say that. Let me look at this. I saw Hood back there. So I'm sure all of these Nomus are Nomus that we have seen in the past. I don't think they're just random designs. This looks like muscular in the front. I'm trying to see if I could recognize some of these villain silhouettes. I would say that this is muscular in the front. And you can make stabs at who these other people are. This person over here seems to have dreads. I don't know. All right, page 2. Let me move forward. As Hawks had explained to Endeavor, rumors of Nomu sighting. Oh Rumors of Nomu sightings had been spreading nationwide, and for a time, people weren't sure what to believe. The concept of uncanny, not quite human entities had been gnawing away at society's collective consciousness ever since the first attack on UA. And as the rumors grew more and more pervasive, there's no S in that word. There's a S, but not where I put it. It grew more pervasive, so too did people's anxieties and fears. That frustration had built up over time until the levees burst. That's a good visual representation of that glass. Dude, that looks like for a second you could have mistaken that for Bakugo. No lie. Not so much in the second panel, but at that top panel for a split second I was like, whoa. Grab the cash, the food too. We get to walk around in broad daylight. Seems like fate's taking it easy on us. Cheyenne prison escapees. Cinder House. See, volume 23, Bakugo said, get a job, loser, and beat these guys easily. Okay. Great. All right. Not on my watch. Who's this? Oh, wow. The civilians fighting back, huh? A support item? That looks pretty dope. Okay, page 4. Let me zoom in. We're gonna stand up and protect our city. This isn't the same guy from last week, is it? Let me pop a tab. What's up, Madman? How are you? I didn't sign in either. Sign. All right, there we go. I just wanted to pop in an open tab really fast. Is that the same guy? No, I don't think it is. No, it's not. I was gonna say, is it the same guy from last week, but it's not. We're gonna stand up and protect our city. All of them have, like, they're using their quirks and support items. Oh, wow. Reports of an attack in Shinjuku. It's the Cinder House gang fresh out of Shion prison. Get to the scene. And Wash is here. Wash. The seeds were already sown. With their faith in heroes shaken, people decided to take matters of self-defense into their own hands, using tools and weapons readily available on the market. Top of 5. Whoa! Jeez. But these were civilians, untrained in counter-villain ops, suddenly engaging in armed combat. Oh my gosh. The battles were rarely contained and often incurred excessive damage and casualties. Come on, camera, work on me. In just 2 days, these incidents were already a common occurrence nationwide. It's crazy. Did they both take each other out? Because I'm looking at this panel again. Wash is holding the support item that the man was using, and I was looking to see if this guy face down in the earth was that old man, and if the dude from, what's his name? We didn't get his name, but the Cinder House, that's him in the rubble to Wash's left. I want to see if any more people on the left? No, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My goodness. It's crazy. Top of 6. Too little, too late. We were just waiting it out inside since we couldn't leave, but we got caught in the crossfire anyway. Well, Wash, where were you? Like, Let's disinfect those wounds and get you to a hospital. The ranks of heroes began to thin. Goodness gracious. Any little thing now is just gonna send anybody over the edge. Every little thing. You weren't here when something went bad. Granted, they got into a hellacious battle before any hero could show up. But then again, we do know that some heroes have packed it up. They've quit. So all of the heroes that would usually be on beat, like the beat walkers, like there's like cops that walk the beat, like they just walk around cities. Those heroes that would just be on patrol, a lot of them just packed it up and was like, I'm done. So now, instead of having someone like that'll instantly be able to respond until some of the higher caliber heroes would show up, they're not there anymore. So they're not there to mitigate any of these tensions that arise. So now you have to wait until the tops get there. And by then, there's like, as we see, there's going to be casualties on both sides. There's going to be destruction damn near everywhere. All right, top of 7. Oh, this is Yoroi Musha. In light of the recent, did I get his name right? Yoroi Musha? Please forgive me. In light of the recent destruction, I see no option but to fall on my own sword and resign. Even heroes of fair renown and talent, including an older one who had plenty of savings from his days as a young hero, but had continued to serve regardless. Yoroi Musha. Okay, I have it zoomed in so I can't see everything. Yes, Yoroi Musha, the number 9 hero, announced his abrupt retirement. I don't understand what benefit do you get from retiring? That's what I'm trying to understand. In a situation like this where it damn near seems like it's lose-lose. Forgive me for hitting the mic. It seems like it's a lose-lose situation whether you're a hero or not. No matter if you show up on time, no matter if like it's gonna be a rough thing. Why retire? That just means in the public eye there's one less hero that's out there to deal with it. So not only are you taking more heroes off the streets, you're now I lost my point. Jeez. Not only are you it'll come back to me. Not only are you removing another hero from the rankings that could help in this time of need. What's the point? Get there. It also just seems like you're running. Yes, it seems like you're afraid of the backlash that these heroes are getting. So instead of standing up and showing that you're a hero, you're running away. So now you're confirming everything that they believe about you, even if it's not true. And Madman, that man's a coward. That's exactly what it feels like. Yoroi Musha has a bald head. That head shining, boy. You see the sheen that's coming off of it? He took the helmet off. Sorry. I'm sorry. It's not sheen. They popped him in the head with a can. My bad. I'm sorry. They popped him in the head with a can. But man. Top of 8. This was the trigger that convinced numerous heroes to abandon their careers. Many had eagerly signed up for the cause when a peaceful society was the baseline assumption. But now, for better or worse, the meaning of the word hero was being put to the test. And then they hang a sign of I am not here. Wow. Don't deface All Might's statue. The man would give his life to save everybody. For better or worse, the heroes were being put through a sieve. I've never heard of this word before in my life. A sieve? I need to Google that. Hold on. I genuinely do. S-I-E-V-E. What is a sieve? Oh, so a strainer. I've never used the word sieve. Right? I've never used of that. That's, wow. SAT word, everybody. That's an SAT word. Put through a sieve. All right. That's pretty cool. And this is Stain. Goodness. Look at Stain. Wow. How does Stain react? How does Stain react to a society that's casting out heroes? Whoa. Whoa, okay. For better or worse, those heroes were being put through a sieve. What's more? And he says yes. That's all media out there, isn't it? Hold on, let me zoom in. There's a detailed camera there. There's a detailed person back there. All these people up here are detailed. I can get Horty not want to draw all of the people. I totally. It kind of seems like he started to draw all of these people and then realized this is too much goddamn work. Right? He realized that this is too much damn work. And he just he stopped drawing. That's what that panel at the top of 10 looks like. Moshi, what's up, Moshi? He swam from the prison. Wait, that's what that was? You guys are gonna think I'm stupid, but I was like, who is this up at the left melting away? That's what I thought initially. He swam. Tartarus is 5 kilometers offshore. He swam. Geez, Stain. All right, I'm top of 10. People were placing that responsibility on the shoulders of one man in particular. Of course he would get the blame. This is a mushroom doctor. There's no way that's not connected to the girl from 1B, is it? All right. Your son and the others are mostly out of the woods. And even you somehow managed to pull through, Endeavor. I'm rooting for you. Look at Endeavor. I'm breathing, but my head's still in a fog. Anesthesia hasn't worn off yet. Still, I'm alive. Top of 12. Let's tango or dance with your son here in hell. That Dobby panel. That Dobby panel, man. He must have known I'd survive this, because he knows exactly what sort of man I am. I froze in place. Worry about the rest later. For the second time, a son of mine was in mortal danger, and I found myself paralyzed. Sure, Best Genius managed to disprove one part of that speech, but he couldn't erase the greater truth. What's up, Dexter? I'm on page 12. I'm on page 12. I haven't been here long. I'm on page 12. But alas, I was a failed creation. It didn't take long for him to reject me. I was tossed aside and forgotten. Endeavor doesn't have an empathetic bone in his body. At his core, he's addicted to the limelight, a man who wallows in his own small-mindedness and self-importance. It's true. I'm just reaping everything I've sowed. Wow. I might get to live on, but Endeavor died back there. My son's a mass murderer, yet I can't find. Wow. Oof. I gotta unzoom from that. Seeing Endeavor like that might get the man to tear up real fast. Now, I really want to investigate this one panel on 13. This one panel on 13, I really want to investigate it so much. Because this is Dobby. This is Toya. Hair white. Hair white. Him pulling at his hair. Honestly, to me, what this seems like to me, and I don't know when, what it's seeming like more and more to me in my head. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if Endeavor particularly was beating the hell out of Toya. I don't think that's the case. I truly don't. I really, 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 truly do feel Like, Endeavor probably went on training him, and you can see all over his hands. Like, his hands are singed like the first time a couple chapters ago when we got the first realization. When he looked at it, he said, ow. His hands are all singed like that. I genuinely do think Endeavor still probably trained him. And it probably got to the point where Endeavor's like, I can't keep training you. Now, granted, I'm not done with the chapter yet. We might get some more. But this is as of page 13. It honestly could have gotten to the point that Endeavor probably was pushing Toya. And I don't know, maybe... what this looks like to me, looking at Toya crying, pulling at his hair, looking at Endeavor with his arms out like that, it looks like this is the moment Endeavor said, I'm done training you. That's why he's saying it didn't take long for him to reject me and toss me aside. I think to Toya, it seemed like because this was their connection. So if Endeavor does not want to do this with them anymore, that's a rejection to him. That's casting him aside. And maybe Endeavor probably did end up focusing on the next kid. Like, Shoto's here. Yada, yada, yada. He's the one. And I do think from this, Toya probably went overboard. And Toya probably overdid it and combusted himself up on that mountain. But I don't think Endeavor was abusive to Toya. I do not think that. I don't think that. Unless we get to see it and he was. How this looks like, this doesn't look like a child afraid of their father. Like usually a child would flinch or would be like looking away. Kind of like how Shoto was. You would see Shoto, he was pissed off at Endeavor. Or he would cower, he'd flinch, or he'd get the hell beat out of him. Like, we've seen that from him. But this right here looks like a no more Toya. Kind of like a no more. I'm not doing this with you anymore because you're getting hurt. We know Endeavor doesn't hate his children. At some point, his obsession turned into physical abuse. But it didn't start that way. And Toya does not look that much older in this picture than from when we first seen him, when they first started to really train. I don't think Endeavor beat Toya. I do think this was a mental, Toya feels like he's being rejected. Right? I do feel like this is like their connection was their fire quirk. Them training together, that was their connection. And Endeavor basically told him no more. And that was like the break, and Toya kind of lost it from there. I do think that. I do think that. Unless we get some more information, that's how I feel. What's up, Bello? How are you? Just snooping. I feel that way. Let me continue, though. I'm ranting in the middle of a chapter. I'm sorry. Page 14. Look at Toya. Look, Toya. Look at Shoto. That face. Oh, he was looking through the glass. He's crying. Oh, no. Look at Shoto! Shoto! Oh, man. Seeing Endeavor in tears like this hurts. It hurts. Dad. Good, you're up. Good, you're up. And now we're all here together. Are you all okay? Crying over what, huh? I get your feelings not to. I understand that. And I get he treated y'all disgustingly, but the man does have a heart too. And I'm from the outside. I'm the outside looking in this situation. My dad wasn't beating the hell out of us, beating our mother, beating our little brother. Tanatsu beating the hell out of Toya. He wasn't doing that. So that's just my outside looking in perspective. Endeavor breaking down. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry I didn't realize until now. These regrets, this guilt, it's too late to matter. My heart, and then she walks around. Wow. 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 And he hits us with the title of, oh. Whew. I'm not reading it yet. Oh my gosh. I don't know how these live streams for My Hero work, so can someone fill me in on where we are? I don't mind past spoilers. Well, not so. Me and my favorite child almost died. I just found out my second favorite is both not dead. Oh wow. Just seeing this right here. Oh my goodness. We're in chapter 300 of My Hero Academia. It is currently after, in my opinion, the best arc of the series, and we're dealing with the fallout of a society that has given up on heroes in general. And we are now in the middle or at the climax of a seemingly Endeavor redemption, facing his demons and facing, I'm legit tearing up. Whoa, I'm legit tearing up just seeing this final page. I haven't even read it. I'm legit tearing up. Yes, what about your heart? Those regrets and guilt. The rest of us have borne that burden much more than you have. Ray, why are you here? I'm here to talk about our family and about our son Toya. Oh man. Oh my gosh. Endeavor literally looks like he's seen a ghost. Literally. And I wonder what is she going to do with this flower? Is she going to give it back to him? Like this right here is where I don't know. Do we where does this family go from here? Do they attempt to come together? Because Endeavor's finally reached this moment after, I want to say, I genuinely want to say that for the greater part of 15 years, they've been going through this. And it's just hitting him now. So when she says, we've been bearing this much more than you have, I feel the weight when she says that. But then again, a part of me just kind of hurts because I don't see how this ends well for him. And it really does, because me personally, I genuinely enjoy Endeavor as a character. I've enjoyed watching him come to terms with his past, understanding that he was wrong, the pain that's coming from it, him trying to grow from it. I've enjoyed it. And I've always been afraid of him dying before any of this could happen. But just seeing all of their faces, seeing her face, seeing what she said, I see no way that this doesn't end in the biggest death flag for Endeavor ever. She's probably gonna tell him something like, go on and get my son or die. I feel that you said everything that I've been trying to say much better. I do feel that way. And like a part of me understands that. But then I don't know, a part of me is just like hurt. If she were to say something like that, like genuinely, I would really be hurt. I totally understand it. I 200% understand it. More than 100%. I do. But it would hurt if it did come down to that. It would hurt. But it's the testament of, like, this is like this series, this whole Todoroki family situation is the perfect like lesson that people are not going to get because they don't like him. They don't like Endeavor. They haven't liked Endeavor since Shoto's first backstory was introduced, and they got that and they never let it go. Right? It's like the perfect life lesson of you do good and you do right by people the first time, because you either don't get a second chance, one, you ruin your first impression on someone, and sometimes you don't get a second chance. Like, it's taken him this long, but he's finally coming around, but it just might be too late. It doesn't matter if he's got the point yet, if they're over it. It doesn't matter if she's like, if she wants to disconnect from him completely, right? If she wants to disconnect from him completely and want nothing to do with him, I get behind it. I understand it. Even if he's turned the corner. It's such a, I'm really emotionally messed up right now. I truly am. Yeah, nothing. But honestly, for a chapter 300, this right here, getting Ray actually talking, not being cooped up inside of that asylum, that place, getting her here, looking Endeavor in his face, saying exactly what's on her mind, that's huge. That's huge. That's huge. That's huge. That's huge. This is the same woman who boiled half her son's face. Dexter, I don't know if you probably thought of this, and I think this was maybe like a year ago, but Dio, and it took me a minute to like understand what he was actually saying, and I'm kind of on board with it. I'm kind of not, but when she was boiling the water, right, and she threw it on Shoto, she threw it on the left side of his face, which was his fire side, which means he probably would not have gotten burnt because he has fire resistance on that side, for the simple fact the flames breached that side of his body. So when we get the flashback and she splashed the water on his face and then she realized what she did, she froze it and she like super cooled it, and then that's what burned him. It took me a minute to get that. Really, I argued with Dio, the mod, for like, I want to say an hour and a half through text. And I finally just like let my ego go, and I was like, I understand what you're saying. So he probably would not have gotten burnt if she wouldn't have froze his face. Crazy. Took me a minute to get that, but I got it. This is a really good chapter. This was a really good chapter. I'm really emotional right now. Whoa. I really am. I really do. I'm really like emotional right now. I understand that she was mentally and maybe physically abused. However, the action and reasoning behind itself is still terrible. And she did get some undue bail for that. No, I agree. I agree. It was a terrible situation through and through. But in said terrible situation, you don't go ahead and start abusing the child as well. Right? You don't do that. I get it. I totally understand that. I'm really like emotional. I really like, upon seeing this last page of this chapter, legit almost dropped a couple tears. This was a great chapter. And I think it was just like all the compounding of this. Hori knew what he was doing too. Putting that title at the end of the chapter. This was a great chapter. This low-key is one of my favorite chapters. Wow, I really loved this. I really did. And I can't imagine what next week's going to be. I can't imagine what next week's chapter is going to be. I know I just don't want to miss it. I don't want to have to spend another day in the dark. This was great. Endeavor looks like he's seeing a ghost, and he looks like he's aged 40 years. Rock, how you put that is good. What's up, Diego? I missed the stream, but I'm here. This is a great chapter, Diego. This is a really great chapter. It's one of my favorite chapters. Literally, it's like a personal favorite, like off the top of my head that I can truly think of. Just getting what we got at the beginning, transferring over again a few panels of Stain, just seeing what some of the top heroes are doing, resigning, and then getting all of this Endeavor stuff at the end of the chapter. This is one of my favorites, for real. Like, I'm still like a little like shaky. Like, it really made me emotional. It took me like a minute or two to actually, and more than that, to read this last page, because I just like got caught up in my emotions. Geez, this was really good. I truly do not want this man to die. I do not want him to die, and I don't want what we're thinking to come out of her mouth. I don't. I'm not gonna be mad if it does, but just me personally, being an Endeavor fan, I just don't want those words to. I just don't want those words to come out of his mouth, out of her mouth. Excuse me. I really don't, because it's gonna hurt. I'm really emotional. Next chapter is a must read, apparently. I don't know if it has anything to do with Valentine's. It's coming out on Valentine's Day. It's coming out on Valentine's Day. Wow. Oh, Hori. Oh, Hori. What are you going to do to us next week? That's what I'm saying. Just get ready for it now. Dude, if she says those words next week, I might cry. I might cry, for real. Seeing how I feel right now at the prospect of what it might be, I might cry if she says that. I might cry if she says that. For real, for real. Me too, honestly. This chapter made me realize how Endeavor being the #1 hero was the perfect way to explore. Yes. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Sounds like a Toga chapter's on the way. I want one. I want one because where her mental is at after this war, right? After where her mental is at after this war, I want to get into that. I want to start getting into the mentals of each one of these characters, because on the other side of this war, none of them are the same. None of them are. I guess you can say Deku is the one that's the most the same. If we really look at it and we go like almost character by character, each one of them are going to be different except for Deku. That's why I do think Deku is due for this gigantic thing. And I do think that gigantic thing is going to be All Might's death. I can't even talk today. But almost every single character, like if we just start going down the line, like Endeavor, of course. Shoto, of course. Ochako, yes. Toga, yes. Spinner, it seems like it. Dabi, his secret's out now, so yes. What was Compress's actual name? Did he announce his name? I know he said that Oji Hanima's blood runs through him, my great grandfather. But did he mention his name? Because he's different. Toga's different. All for one, it's like Shigaraki seemingly. It seems like the ones on the other side of this war, like physically, Shigaraki is different, but mentally, he's kind of still going through a metamorphosis. Him and Deku are the ones that are the least unchanged on the other side of the war. Mentally, I'm speaking. But like if we go through class 1A, they're all different. They're all going to be different, especially the ones that were closer to midnight. The Toga is the girl that is from the villains, that she like drinks the blood and she can turn into other people. The one with the blonde hair with the little buns and she has the knives. That's Toga. The war didn't shake his character or reinforce the character. Yes, Madman, yes. So it just seems like on the other side of the war, our two main characters, Deku and Shigaraki, are the ones that have been the least changed. But everyone else that's involved in the war has changed. Like Hawks has gone through a lot. Like a lot of the kids in class have gone through a lot. Heroes are dead. Top 10s are shaken up. Here, like Yoroi Musha's turned coward and retired, even though he probably shouldn't have been a hero anymore in the first place. He's just been serving, probably for the benefits. We don't know. Like society, like everything is different, and those two, and Deku and Shigaraki are the ones that are the least changed out of every single character, which leads me to believe, it's what I think Dexter's been saying for a long time, that Shigaraki is going to dust All Might and he's going to dust All for One, and that's going to be the confirmation of him being the big bad final villain, and that's going to be the completion of his development. And at the same time, that's going to be the gigantic boost for Deku to take a huge character leap. That's exactly what I do think it's going to be. And I think it's just been set up like that. Otherwise, why do you get those Bakugo moments during the war? His character's changed. His character has changed. Why do we get the Todoroki, all this Todoroki stuff? Like those two are they're due. They're due. And when it happens, oh boy. Oh boy. can't be a shonen protag with a certain level of tragedy. Yeah. And Deku really doesn't have that much tragedy in his life. I think at the most, like, tragedy, Deku is bullied. That's the most tragedy he's faced. He's due. He is due. And I think Hori's gonna pour it on thick. I think he's gonna pour it on thick. He's due. He is due for tragedy. He's due. He's due. Dog, I feel like this series is gonna get crazy. I feel like there's gonna be some upcoming arcs that are gonna get crazy. I do feel it. I feel like there's gonna be some stuff that's gonna get crazy. If she tells him what you said, Dexter, this series is gonna get a little bit crazier. If she tells him, "Get my son or die trying," it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be a little bit crazier. Oh my gosh. Oh man. Best girl in Ochako. What do you mean, Madman? Correction, he was shunned for being something he can't change. Oh, you're talking about Deku. Yeah. I think I summed it up as bullying because that's the only tragedy he's faced. Like his upbringing. Like that's the only tragedy that he's faced. Everything else has been self-inflicted because he's just been destroying his body. But there hasn't been any like tragedy. Like, yeah, Night Eye is a tragedy. But he didn't have the super deep connection to Night Eye that would probably crush him. Like an All Might or a Gran Torino would crush him. Right? And a lot of people I recently spoke to, who was I talking to? I was talking to someone. Who was I talking to? It wasn't Chris. It wasn't James. No, it was another friend. And the friend was like, why was Deku crying when Night Eye died? He didn't know Night Eye for that long. And I'm like, dude, you do realize he's an All Might worshiper. That means he knows who Night Eye is. That means he grew up probably having an affection for Night Eye. Not as much as All Might, but having an affection for him because he was a sidekick. There's a connection there. It's just like sometimes if a celebrity that we really liked or a movie star or someone that we really like held a personal connection to in our hearts passes, we might cry. Similar to that. You just happen to get to know him a little bit. Goodness gracious. People act like people can't cry when death happens. He didn't have the Hinata getting killed in front of him moment yet. Yes, that is true. I've kind of fantasized about that moment. Let me scratch this out. I personally thought Deku was gonna have like a huge character, like my own fan theory, or fan like wanting, like I want this to happen, was like someone betrayed, like the traitor in Class 1A, like the traitor like caused All Might's death or was responsible for the events that leads up to All Might's death. And like they announce themselves as the traitor at the same time that All Might dies and Deku loses it. And I think that matter of fact, what's his face? I did tell you guys this whenever I brought up how I personally thought we would get Deku versus Bakugo 3. Because currently, as the story stands, I see no conceivable way to get a real Deku versus Bakugo 3. Because each time they fought, they've been at odds with one another. And the only way you're gonna get a run back Because technically Deku won the first one, even though they really didn't trade blows like that. And Bakugo won the second one. So in order to get a true like trilogy, like third fight to cap off the trilogy of Deku versus Bakugo, they would have to then be at odds against one another. And I think the only way they can be at odds against one another is if Deku puts himself in harm's way again and Bakugo says no more. Because we've come to learn in the war arc that Bakugo worries about Deku putting his life in danger. So it's the only way. It's the only way I think that it's possible. Ooh, I was cutting them. It's the only way I think that's possible. We don't know his relationship with his dad, so maybe there was something that happened. That's possible. Mans wants him to suffer. I'm sorry. Deku's pain tolerance is going to be insane. Yeah. I have a theory that the parents split because the dad is working overseas. Like it's going to be something super normal to subvert expectations. Or even worse, by Deku doing something leads to All Might's death. Oh man, Rock. I've never brought that up. Deku doing something that would then cause All Might to die? You're just being cruel now. I never thought of that. Oh, what I wanted to do at the start of this stream, but I was so antsy. Let me pull up. You guys know the I'll get an actual answer from you guys, but you guys know the what's his face. What? Whoa. For real? You honestly could sue them. Okay, all right, so you guys know like the little like G-bit things that you can put in your Crocs? Like of like Marvel characters or like random numbers or letters or stuff like that? Oh, I'm gonna okay. No one's answering. But yeah, you know those like little Jeeba things you could put in your Crocs? Well, there is someone on Twitter that I follow, right? That makes like anime versions of them. I'm gonna put them on the screen in a second. Really? Right here. It's so let me do scene 2. Here we go. This guy right here. His Twitter handle is Soul King Lives, and he makes these. And I have them right here, right? I bought them. This is the My Hero collection. So it's like you got Momo. Hold on. So I'll go back to the My Hero layout. But this guy's pretty dope. So you got like Momo. I kind of want to link him in the description. I gotta cover my face. Hold on. So you could like try to focus in on it. I don't know. Let me move. I don't know. Get out the way. I suck at this. I cover my face. Come on. Hold on. Hold on. Look at that. I almost put my address up there. So you got like a Momo. You got Stain. Why you focus back on my face, stupid? So you got a whole bunch of them. You got like Mirko, Bakugo, All Might, Kirishima, Momo. You got like all of these different. There's so many. Like there's so many. You got Dabi, Eri, goodness gracious, Tokoyami, Mirio. I think my favorite one, legit. I think my favorite one. Hold on, I got you guys. I got you. Hold on. This might be my favorite one. Mirio of him popping his head through a wall. I think that might be my favorite one. So I meant to do this at the beginning of the stream, but I was too excited to read the freaking chapter. They're really dope. I'm gonna throw them on my Crocs that I got right now and be super duper happy. I know I don't know if he has camera wants to focus on that. I know, right? I don't want to hear Bakugo get on to Deku about fighting, but only him and Endeavor. He is though. We know he is. We know he is. Like you got a Hawks one. Like these are cool. What was the cost? I want to say $30, 36 for all of them. But you can buy them individually. So if you only want all for one and Stain, I dropped them. I dropped Stain. You can buy them, and I don't know how much they individually cost, but you can just buy them if you wanted to. So I'll go to a store right here. Let me go back to scene 2. So like this is $36. True criminal of the series is Ron for wearing Crocs are comfortable. I stand by Crocs. I've been wearing Crocs for like, what year was that? 2016. I've been wearing Crocs for like 5 years now. Yeah, there's Naruto ones, but I think they sold out, but I think you can buy the individual Naruto ones unless they're all gone now. Hold on. Unless he only keeps them in stock like one at a time. So if we go 3, I think all the Naruto ones are gone. That sucks. Yeah, all the Naruto ones are gone. So I think he only keeps them one at a time. These My Hero ones released the last week. I want to say this past Friday. But yeah, I'm gonna throw this in the link of the stream. But it's pretty dope though. I mean, it's pretty dope. Man, they were like $36, and it was like all of them. So if you only wanted a few of them, you could buy a few of them. I'm just like a My Hero stan. So I'm gonna get the cool My Hero stuff. Because I was like, I seen someone post the Naruto ones. And I was like, ooh, those are dope. I was like, those Naruto ones are dope. I was like, ooh, do they have My Hero ones? And then I was like, do they have My Hero ones? And I started scouring the internet, and I ended up like finding his his page, his Twitter. So I was like, because there was a picture of the My Hero ones floating around, and I'm like, are these out yet? Are these out? I was literally, are these out? I need to know, are these out? And they weren't. I'm like, oof, I'm following him. I need to know when they drop. I was like, I need to know when they drop. And he was like, they're gonna drop in a couple weeks. Had my eyes on them. Couldn't tell everybody, of course. Couldn't tell everyone, of course, because I needed to make sure I got mine. But they're cool. What's up, Julian? What'd you think of the chapter? Yeah, I honestly thought Julian was here was just lurking though. I thought he was here but just lurking. I gotta get Julian's words. I was gonna skedaddle. This was not a paid sponsorship, by the way. Like, I was not paid to talk about it. Anyway, I should be. But oh yeah. I don't think they're fighting each other, Madman. That I've watched that Kong trailer a gajillion times, and I have not watched anyone's trailer breakdowns of Kong versus Godzilla. I've watched that trailer a million times. I don't think they're fighting each other. I honestly think that it's Mechagodzilla. And there's 2 instances in the trailer that kind of confirm that it's Mechagodzilla. I do think it's Mechagodzilla. When the trailer first starts, the thing that's like swooping down, everyone's like, oh, that's Godzilla. And I'm like, dude, that's got like red lights all on its neck and everything. I think that's Mechagodzilla. And then like halfway through the trailer, if you like stop on like the Asian dude, in the background, it literally is a mock-up of robot Godzilla legs. And it says like systems like charging or systems online. Like, it's Mechagodzilla. And if you know anything about the old Godzilla movies, you know that the original plot for Godzilla versus like when Mechagodzilla they've always been in the same universe. But there's been 2 different iterations of King Kong. There's the Peter Jackson King Kong, but then there's like the actual Kong. That's always been a part of the Godzilla monsterverse. 2 different ones. But what was I saying? If you know anything about like the original Godzilla and like the original first appearance of Mechagodzilla was disguised, like this was like the 60s movies. Mechagodzilla was disguised as Godzilla, and people were mistaking Mechagodzilla as Godzilla because they look the same. And then at the climax of the movie, like there's like this shimmery effect, and then you see that Mechagodzilla's a robot. And then Godzilla fights Mechagodzilla and Godzilla wins. But I do think it's very possible that might be the case. I do think it's very possible it might be the case that I don't think that they're gonna fight each other. They might not actually fight each other. It might be Mechagodzilla the whole time. Enough about my Godzilla obsession. What did you say, Julian? I thought it was amazing. My favorite part was society going against each other. I dug this chapter a lot, man. You missed it. I almost cried. I almost cried on the last page. Well, I started to get emotional like when Endeavor started to wake up and he started to talk to himself. I'm sorry, Rock. Whenever he started to talk to himself, I started to get emotional there. But when you look at that final page, that junk hit me like a ton of bricks. Like it took like I literally had to like take a second. I'm adding the link to this website in the description. Oh, I should ask you. About this, don't worry, I'll go back and watch. I bought this Godzilla comic. It's a prequel to King of the Monsters called Godzilla Aftershock. Ooh, I need to check that out. Like, this movie isn't the first time Godzilla and King Kong have fought. They fought in the 70s, I want to say. They fought in the 70s. This is just the first time that they're being done by a Western studio, I want to say. Yeah. I want to ask for Julian, what do you think Ray is going to say to Endeavor? The 60s, thank you. What do you think Ray is going to say what do you think she's going to say to Endeavor? I think we're all, like, everyone here so far is on the same wavelength that she's going to say, come hell or high water, get my son back or die in the like, get my son back or die getting my son back. I think we're all on the same page with that. I do think that's what she's gonna say. And according to Madman, next week is supposed to be a must read. Like, it's gonna be a very impactful chapter. F your feelings, give me my baby. Yeah, just like that. All the hell you put us through, get my son back, bastard. Kind of like that. And it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt me. It is gonna hurt me because I really do like Endeavor, and I enjoy where his character has gone over the years. So it's gonna hurt that he's finally turning the corner and realizing everything he's done is wrong, and it's just gonna be like, you know what? Too bad. That's why you do right by people the first time, man. That's why you do right by people the first time. It's gonna suck. Oh man, I'm dreading this next chapter. And it's not realistic. What I want to happen is not realistic. It's not realistic what I want. I just want them to be a happy family, and that's not realistic. I just want them to be happy. I just want them to be happy. Literally, that's it. I just want them to be happy. I want things to go back to the way they were. And maybe that's just like an inner part of me that I think that's just an inner part of me coming from a split household where a long time for like, geez, how old was I? I was 4th grade when my dad left the house, kicked out. I want to say until I was like maybe 14, I wanted them to get back together, and then they tried to get back together and my dad pissed it away again. By that point, I didn't care. So I think. But I think it's a part, like, that's why I kind of am attached to the situation, because granted, nothing that Endeavor was doing like was going on in my household, but like, they're a split household. The Todoroki family is a split household, and I just think it's part of my like inner child that is kind of latching itself onto this whole family dynamic, and why I just want them to be happy. I do think so. I really do think it's the reason why I want them to be happy. I really just want, like, what Todoroki and Endeavor, what Shoto and Enji have been going through. Like, Shoto spending the time with him, even though Shoto's saying, I'm spending the time with Endeavor, not with my father. Granted, that's been working. Like, granted, that has been working. Whether Shoto wants to agree with it or not, like, they've been building a bond. What's up, Sven? I want to say Sven. Thank you for subbing. But that, like, they've been spending this time, and I want what those two have gone through to happen with Fuyumi and to happen with Natsuo. I do. 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 And then for these two to have Ray and Endeavor to have a conversation about everything and to work it out. That's like my best case scenario, what I want to happen. And it don't look like it's gonna happen. It really don't. It really don't. And I wonder, this could go a lot. This could go a lot. Anyone notice how we haven't seen or heard anything about Sun Eater and Fat Gum? This is the part where Ron becomes a shonen supporting character who gets his own spin-off. Shut up. You guys. The shiny baldy hero. The milk dud hero. Goodness gracious. Can't do anything. But yeah. This whole situation could go so many different ways. Like imagine if because now Ray is back in the picture, right? She's back in the picture. She's mom now. She's mom again. She's not the kooky lady in the hospital. Imagine if, because I would assume that Natsuo and Fuyumi have a good relationship with her, but not a good relationship with Endeavor. Can spit that out. And Shoto really doesn't have a good relationship with either of them. At the same time he's been building a relationship with Ray, he's been building a relationship with Endeavor at the same time. What if, because mom is back in the picture now, Fuyumi and Natsuo side with her in her casting out of Endeavor? What if? And Shoto looks like no. Like what if he doesn't vibe with it? Because he actually sees what Endeavor could be and he doesn't, like, I don't know. This is just like where I'm kind of theory crafting, but it could turn that way because Shoto's seen a side of Endeavor that none of them have. He's seen it. So what if they just, I don't know. I honestly could see a part of them that I could see a part of them being just a split family for real. And Shoto kind of being with Endeavor. Spending time between both, but I don't know. I don't see a scenario where they all live together. Like if I'm being realistic, there's no way that they can live it together. If I'm living in my dream world, I want them to live together in happiness and bliss for all time. If I'm being realistic, there's like a 98% chance that they don't live together. I won't say 99, 98% chance they don't live together. Yeah. Like as the children all stand now, Natsuo is exactly what Dexter just said. Natsuo is done with the whole thing. He wants nothing to do with Endeavor. Fuyumi wants everyone to be fine, and Shoto is on either side. But I do feel like through the war, Shoto is now leaning more so on Endeavor's side. Through everything he's seen through the war and the resolve that Shoto has gained, he might be a little bit on Endeavor's side. Because I think he sees something in Endeavor while seeing Toya that just doesn't what's his face? It doesn't like gel the right way. And I feel like Shoto kind of sees that. But I'm just thinking, like, since mom is back, right? At the end of the day, they're still kids. Granted, Fuyumi's like 24. I want to like either 22 or 23, something like that. She's in her early 20s. Dabi's like in his early to mid 20s. Natsuo's in college, so he's around 18 or 19, and Shoto's like 16, 17. So at the end of the day, they're all still kids. And I'm just thinking, like, what if Rei like has finally gone through the mental resolve and is just like firm in, I'm not with this man anymore. I want nothing to do with this man anymore. I want him to give me what he took from me and to leave. I'm just saying, like, what if that's what she is now? Does that infect Fuyumi in any sort of way? Would those words from her mother move her needle any direction? Would she just follow blindly after mom, or would she stick to herself and stick to the way she believes? That's where I'm thinking, like, Natsuo siding with mom no matter what. Does Fuyumi stand her ground, or does she say, okay, mom, and go with mom? And does Shoto just go with mom, or does he stand his ground, or does he side with Endeavor? That's where my mind is now. If this is all contingent on if Rei is to tell Endeavor, get my son back or die trying. Now, if next week she says, you bring our son back, and then we have another conversation, then that changes everything. But I'm just thinking all of this on if she says, get my son back or die trying. If there's no coming back for Endeavor in this family dynamic. That's why I'm leaning on all this. If she's dead set on that, does that push Fuyumi or Shoto's needle? That's it. And I don't know. It's possible. It's possible that they could stand on their own ground. Natsuo's with mom no matter what, though. Where are we at? I want to see Inko. My anxiety's building. I don't. We might not be getting any more Inko. I'm telling y'all. I said this last week. Was this last week or was it 2 weeks ago? It was last week. It was last week I said this. I said there's no way. Last week we said that I said, because we only spit it out. Golly. We only seen one panel of Deku in the hospital, and All Might was at his side. And last week I brought up that I don't think if Inko was alive, the first moment we see of Deku in critical condition in a coma, that she wouldn't be at his side. Even if she stepped out the room for a second, I think the first time we would see him, because this is different. Like this is different. We were saying this last week because everyone was like, well, he's been in the hospital before and she wasn't there. And she kind of like met him outside as he was leaving the hospital. But this is different. It's been days and she's not there. It's been days and literally he was on the front lines fighting against this villain. And for her not, I do think Hori would have drawn her. Hori would have drawn her in that same panel with him the first time we see him. I do think so. And I think the fact that she's not in that panel leans more towards the fact that she is no longer with us. And like we said, it's only one panel. She easily could be using the bathroom or stepped out of the room for a second. Easily. She easily could have. But Deku hasn't had anything tragic happen to him. Yeah, yeah. She might not even know. 100%, 100%. I think it's been 2 days. 100%. There's no way she doesn't know. 100%. There's no way she doesn't know. There's no way she doesn't know. There's no way. Because in this war arc, there's been a report of all the heroes that have died. There's probably been a report of all the heroes that have been involved in this war. Right? There's been reports of all of this stuff. So you think Inko, who has a superhero son in training, sees a gigantic terrorist attack happening in the middle of a city, and this gigantic monster has run through 20 plus cities, right? This all happening. You think she's not going to question it, especially if the death list comes out and Aizawa was mortally wounded. His homeroom teacher. Midnight. One of his teachers dead. Various UA staff dead and wounded in the hospital. At that point, her son lives on the dorms of UA, and multiple teachers are dead or incapacitated. You think she's not going to UA, calling anyone, doing anything to find out where her son is? No way. There's no way she doesn't do that. It's 100% she knows exactly what's happening if she's alive. And there's no way she would not be at that hospital with them. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. She easily could just be out that room. But I think if she was alive, she would have been drawn in that panel along with All Might. Along with All Might. Not just All Might. No. Not knowing the mother she is. Not knowing the mother she is. There's no way that's possible. No way. It completely goes against the entire scene of All Might and his promise. There's no way. There's no way. And it easily could just be she's just not in the room right now. But there's no way she's... There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. The summer camp was different. The summer camp was different. That all happened in one night, and the kids got taken to a hospital. Right? Was it after Stain, or was it after the summer camp? It was after Stain, wasn't it? Help me. When Inko ran up to Deku, and after he walked out of the hospital, and she's like, "Are you okay?" This and he's like, I'm fine. Was that after Stain, or was that after the summer camp? No, it was after Stain. It wasn't after the summer camp. It was after Stain. It wasn't after the summer camp, because the night of the summer camp, that's when all the kids talked to each other, right? And they made the plan that they were gonna go and get Bakugo back, and that's when they had the dissension, and then that's when they all boogied out. It was after Stain. That's different. After Shigaraki tried to dust him in the mall, actually. Okay. Yeah. You're right. You're totally right. All of those times are different than these times. All of those times is different than this war arc. There's no way she doesn't reach out or try to find out about him. There's no way that doesn't happen. No way. There's no way. There's no possible way. Watch all of his classmates still have their parents, but he doesn't. That would be tough. I'm telling you, there's no way. I truly do think, unless Hori just knows that everyone's bugging out about Inko and he did it on purpose. That could be it too. But I personally, in the bottom of my heart, believe if the situation is this dire and Hori has been drumming it up that he's been drumming it up that this war is a big deal. There's no way he's in a coma for 2 days and she's not there. I do think he puts her in that panel. I believe that in the bottom of my heart. She's in that panel. She's in that panel right next to him, stressed the hell out. I believe it. Those are all wrong place, wrong time, right? This was actually letting students participate in a wide scale raid operation. And there's no way that they cannot report that the students were involved in this, because it's the reason why they let the students get their provisional license. So the students, if you probably looked up official documents, the students absolutely were included in this because the students performed sections of this operation by themselves. That has to be documented. The students are the ones that did a big majority of the evacuations. So there's no way that these people don't know. You're telling me none of these people that got evacuated from the city are going to be like, they had the students from UA evacuating all of us before all this craziness went down. Boom. What? You don't think that's going to hit the news? Come on, man. Come on. I think Otku heard him mention All For One. She was right beside him when he asked Shiggy, and she asked All For One wasn't involved sometime soon. What do you mean, Madman? I'm confused. Like, what section of are you talking about? You don't think some video out there about people saying the heroes let students evacuate in this whole vacuum of all the in this vacuum of all the heroes are trash? Just another reason to tear down heroes more? That they're using child heroes? They're using student heroes to do their dirty work for them because they're incapable of doing it themselves. You know the media is going to spin it that way. That stuff's going to come out. I think Ochiko heard him mention All For One. Did they talk about they didn't talk about All For One in that conversation at the mall. I don't think they talked about All For One in that conversation at the mall. Was All For One even a known entity at that point? Like, didn't Ochiko's words were along the vein of like, what are you doing to like something along the lines of that. I'm not sure how much she heard or if she heard anything. Overall knew about it before he met up with Shigaraki, but I think he knew about that just because of his Yakuza connections. That's why. Because the Yakuza runs deep through Japan. And All For One was the leader of Japan at one point. Like the unofficial leader of Japan. Izuku said the name to Shigaraki while Uraraka was right next to him. That'll be a cool callback, but I don't think she picked up nothing from that. She might know the name All For One, but I don't think she knows anything about All For One. Because you can't find any information about All For One. He's been scrubbed from history, right? Like, am I correct? Am I correct about that? Like, you just can't hit the internet about All For One. Hit Google and type in All For One. Who is he? You're not gonna find anything. You're like ruled from the shadows. You're only gonna find information about him if you know what you're looking for. And all the people that have known about All for One have had deeper connections to bigger organizations than the normal Joe. True, he never, it was like, yeah, he's never, like, he did everything from the shadows. Like, that's the whole, it's still weird how some people don't understand the motivations of the villains. They just want to go back to anarchy. They don't want any more rules. They're sick of the hero society. They're sick of all these things. They want to be free. They don't want to be judged. They want to do whatever the hell they want to. Those are valid reasons. They're valid reasons. And that's what they want. They just want to be free. They want to go back to a time where a man with the strongest quirk did whatever the hell he wanted to, and let everyone else do whatever the hell they wanted to. You did what you want to, but at the end of the day, you reported to that man because you couldn't do nothing about it. That's why. Just noticing how the days are getting darker and the villains are getting stronger, and that's why I brought it up. I think she might eventually, if push came to shove, she might go to Deku like, do you remember the mall? What was that about? She may do that. Like, it's possible she may do that. But outside of that, I don't think there's anything she would... The only thing she could do with that information is just go to Deku. Who else is she gonna go to? She gonna ask Gunhead about All for One? He not gonna know nothing. And Deku gonna look at her cave, tell her stuff. I wouldn't cave. I wouldn't tell her nothing. I wouldn't tell her a damn thing about this whole situation because I'm not dragging her into the situation. Because she's burdened herself with being a hero for heroes. So if we then tell her all of this information, this is going to put an even more heavier burden on her. She don't need it. Before I get out of here and read, it's out, Dexter. Attack on Titan's out. What's the over under of Toga masquerading as a nurse in a hospital right now? I want to say 70%. I was going to go like 80% or 90. I'm going to say 70. I'm going to say 70 because she needs to get her conversation with Deku. So I would say 70%. I'm going to be a little bit less. 137 is out. I'm getting out of here. I'm getting out of here and I'm hopping in the Discord. All I know is that people are probably going to be mad about the chapter. Did I hear that correctly from the spoilers? I know nothing about the chapter, but I heard people might be mad. So if people are going to be mad, that means I'm going to actually be happy. That means I'm going to be happy because I usually like what people don't. I don't know. But I'm getting out of here too because I want to go read Attack on Titan. So I appreciate you guys for being here. Thank you for being here on a Monday. I'm a day late. Check out the Godzilla Aftershock. Let me write that down. Hold on. Godzilla Aftershock. I want to check that out. Thank you. Okay, so I'm getting out of here. Thank you guys for being here. Day late, but we got it in. Great chapter. I'll be back tomorrow for more stuff on the channel, but we'll be back here next Sunday for 301. So again, thank you and peace out.